Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel, and in today's episode I'm talking with you about how does eBay compete with Amazon. Now this comes off the back of the Catalyst event from last week, which I went to. If you haven't seen the vlog from that episode, click the link here and go and check that out. Now at the time in that video you got sort of my raw opinion on the day and what had happened. And since then I've had time to think about what went on, and I've spoken to other people who were there, and one of the main things that we can't quite get over is how heavily everything was focused on Amazon and very little was focused on eBay. Now as you'll see in the vlog footage, I actually recorded quite a bit of a chunk of the keynote from David Spitz, who's the CEO of Channel Advisor, and he talked for about 40 to 45 minutes about Amazon and the marketplace, and I'm not even sure he mentioned eBay once. And then later in the day, eBay were there. eBay were sponsoring the event. They were one of the key sponsors. And then eBay were on a panel with 5 other very young marketplaces. And it all felt a bit strange. It was like they're not acknowledging eBay for what they are. eBay are number 2 when it comes to sort of like Western marketplaces. And they're a huge fish, regardless of, you know, they used to be bigger than Amazon. Amazon have since overtaken them in terms of monthly visits and turnover and blah, blah, blah. But eBay is still a big fish. And they just weren't getting the attention that I felt that they deserved, surely. And I was wondering then about, there was a lot of talk about the Amazon domination and Amazon's sort of global direction, and that is something which I will be talking about in a video very, very soon. But again, I think one of the main ones that I want to talk about is how does eBay actually now compete with Amazon? You see, because over the past sort of 3 or 4 years, back when John Donahoe was the CEO, eBay was basically morphing into another Amazon. They were introducing the catalog, which, don't get me wrong, is a great thing, but getting rid of sort of the individual nature of listings, creating a category page, or a category page, much like you get on Amazon, and then people being able to list against that item. They then introduced product reviews, which again was what Amazon did so well. And just it's over time, eBay has been morphing into another version of Amazon. But they're never going to be able to compete on what Amazon does very well and has done for years. It's just going to look like they are copying what has worked so well for Amazon and not focusing on instead what has worked so well for eBay. So in this video, in this episode, I would look about how eBay can compete with Amazon, or how I believe eBay should compete with Amazon. If I was sat around that board, in San Jose at eBay headquarters, these are the things which I would be saying eBay should be focusing on. For what it's worth, who knows? Now, firstly, I need to make the point that we're talking right now about marketplaces, as in just a straight comparison between Amazon Marketplace and eBay Marketplace. We can't take into fact things like Amazon Prime, we can't take into Amazon Instant Video, the Fire stuff, the Echo. We can't take Amazon and logistics. Amazon is a huge network of fingers in pies touching lots of different things, and eBay does not have that. eBay is a marketplace, and that is the sole purpose of eBay. So for the sake of this, we're going to be comparing eBay Marketplace to Amazon Marketplace. Now there are some problems with that, especially regarding the logistics. Amazon just naturally, because they now have a logistics company, they can do the quick delivery and they have the warehouses where everything is. eBay doesn't have that. You're literally buying from, if you're buying 3 things, one thing might be coming from Newcastle, one might be coming from Liverpool, one might be coming from London. They could be coming from all over the place, and obviously going to be shipped in different, by different couriers at different times with different rates, and it's a much harder thing for eBay to figure out the logistics. But let's focus on the marketplace. Number 1, and this was something which Pierre mentioned at Catalyst, and I think it needs to be shouted a lot louder from eBay, and it also needs to be proven, because I know there's a lot of sellers out there who don't feel the love from eBay, but Pierre made the point that eBay's sole focus was sellers, putting sellers first, I think was his words. And that is something which they really need to start communicating more, and also showing sellers that they are serious about this. But one of the big differences between eBay and Amazon is, firstly, that eBay are much better at communicating changes. They will give you often 6 to 12 months notice before anything changes, which is plenty of time to get your things in order for the changes that are about to happen. Amazon will sometimes give you a week, or sometimes say, we've changed this, with active immediately. So eBay's communication is much better with its sellers, and I think they need to focus more on that to keep sellers happy. I also think it's always going to be hard, because they're going to have to bring out updates and seller releases which aren't always going to be focused on the seller, but they're going to have to bear the seller in mind when they are bringing about these changes. The point I would make is I sincerely believe Devin Wenig, the current CEO of eBay, truly believes that putting the sellers first is the right thing to do. And I also believe that the director level at eBay are on board with this as well. I just think that culture needs to filter down to everyone else in eBay, especially the guys that customer support and all of it. They need to be starting thinking about customer, seller first. I think that is one of the, I'm not saying that they need to start screwing buyers over, I'm just saying let the sellers feel that they are cared about, and because that's something which you don't get on Amazon, and that's one of the key things where you can compete with Amazon, is that make it a better place for sellers to be. You're never going to wake up to an email from eBay telling you that your account is suspended. They will give you chances, they will let you know your metrics are slipping. Amazon will just turn you off. eBay won't do that, and that is a huge thing when you're selling in marketplaces, especially if the marketplaces is a huge part of your business. That added security that eBay brings, that isn't going to happen, that they will help you, and that they'll try and give you as much notice as possible about what's going on with your account, is a good thing. You need to communicate that more. Secondly, and perhaps the biggest one, and this again, Pierre mentioned it at Catalyst, and I think it needs to be something which is highlighted by eBay a lot more, and that is that eBay is never going to compete with you when selling products. eBay is giving you the platform on which to sell. They're not selling products against you. Amazon is. And Amazon, if you've got a product which is selling well, Amazon has a team of people who are going to try and source your product directly from the manufacturer, pay less for it than you can, put an incredible order in and get exclusivity and cut you out the loop and go direct. I've seen that happen to at least 3 businesses that I can think of immediately, and probably a lot more if I actually spent time going back, and it has killed businesses. Amazon has killed businesses because they've liked the product that you've sent to Prime. One seller I can think of accidentally left the dispatch note from the manufacturer, which had the name and address of the manufacturer details over in China. Amazon just went direct to them, and then the next time the seller rang up to place another order, he said, I'm sorry, we can't do business with you anymore. I've signed an exclusivity deal with Amazon. And what can you do? They cut you right out of the loop. eBay will never do that. eBay are not set up to do that. eBay have no interest in doing that, and that is one of the key separators between eBay and Amazon. One of the key things that eBay should be highlighting in their communications to bring sellers on board is that we are working with you, we're not working against you. eBay ultimately want you to sell more because that's how they make more money. They make more fees, that's how they make their commissions. So it's in eBay's interest for you to be a good seller and you to sell more. That is the communication point which eBay need to nail when dealing with sellers and trying to onboard new sellers. And finally, I think eBay just need to start innovating again. That is something which they did so well in the early, I'm talking sort of 5 to 10 years ago. The innovation at eBay was great. You had ad commerce, which was basically eBay's version of AdWords, and that was fantastic. And they brought out, fast and free and then top rated seller and all the things that went along with that. And now we've not seen any great innovation in eBay for years. Whereas with Amazon we see nothing but innovation. And obviously it's easier when you're manufacturing your own products, but I mean, surely eBay can come up with something to entice sellers and also buyers to get involved with the platform, to do something new. I think one of the major pain points I still have is that obviously active content goes live on the active content policy goes live in about 3 weeks, if not 2, about 3 weeks, and at the time of recording this, by the way, and they still don't have an answer for putting video into listings. Video is huge, and the sellers who know that are producing video content. They know it works. And ever since the active content rules have come in, eBay I can't find out a way how you can actually embed videos in your listings which doesn't use active content. Now there is a very simple way around it, but eBay seems to be unwilling to do that, and the two major video sharing platforms, YouTube and Vimeo, there's no answer. And that's a huge problem. That should be one of eBay's biggest priorities. Video is huge right now, and they've basically taken a step backwards on that. You used to be able to put video in listings, but as of right now, at this time of recording, you can't. And that's a problem. That innovation has left, and it needs to come back quickly, and eBay needs to remember that it is a technology company and it should be at the forefront. And I know it's buying, AI companies and all that sort of stuff. We need, and I'm sure that will be very nice for search, but we need to start seeing it. We need to start seeing that innovation. And I think those are my top 3 reasons as to how eBay can compete with Amazon. Number 1, the communication that sellers are first, and that eBay's job is to work with sellers and support sellers directly on the platform. Number 2, that eBay is never going to compete with you as a seller. It's only going to try and help you sell more products. And number 3, that we need to start seeing some innovation from eBay. We need to start seeing something that shows that they are still a current business with current ideas. They're still at the forefront of technology, and they're advancing and innovating. That is key for not only just this mobile e-commerce world that we live in, but it ain't going anywhere, and it's only going to get more and more technologically advanced, and eBay need to be at the forefront of that. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you think eBay can sort of make a resurgence and start competing with Amazon in the marketplace space, or is it too late? Does Amazon own too much of the network, and does it offer too much convenience to buyers? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and I'll catch you as always in the next video. Thank you for watching.